figure out who's here. All right. We were waiting for my chief of staff to finish a phone call. My apologies for being late. We just want to create some suspense for the ceremony, but I'm very grateful. Trust me, I'm looking around the room. I was about to point people out. It's literally just not worth it. There are so many of you here that deserve to be pointed out. I will spare the indignity to the great Jose Cisneros and Bevan Dufty, president of the board, David Chu, to Supervisor Sean Ellsburn, and to, I think, some supervisor-elects that are either here, Farrell, or will be here. Mark is? Where is he? He's here. There is somewhere in the back. I thank them for taking the time to be here with all of you. I am grateful that so many of you came out today, because this will be one of my last public swearing-in ceremonies, which I'm glad you didn't all applaud. It's an encouraging sign. But a meaningful one to me, because I've said this story so many times, and those of you who heard it, I apologize for repeating it, but this is an important bookmark for me, because this is where I started in public life, sitting in a seat just like some of you, when then Mayor Willie Brown had Eleanor Johns or someone from the office call me to say that Mayor Brown wanted to appoint you to the Film Commission, and I was ecstatic. I'm 26 years old and went to a lot of movies, felt I was qualified, and ran down enthusiastically, and we were across the ways before the new City Hall was completely renovated and refurbished, and we were in that temporary facility. And Willie Brown, there were a lot of us who were sworn in. He goes around the room and says, to those that were assembled, Pat Kelly, I'm proud. I've known Pat for 400 years, and I'm glad she'll be the director of Rec and Park. To Paige Arata, Paige, her father and I were law partners. And I just remember all Willie Brown's stories. And then to Gavin Newsom, who is now going to be, I'm saying to Film Commission, I'm waiting for that, it says, who will be the chair of the Parking and Traffic Commission. Literally, without telling anybody, I had no idea. I looked around, trying to act confident, and I could see Eleanor and Steve Cava and the entire team going, what the heck was that? That was not on our list, as only Willie Brown can do. And then there was one camera. I'm proud. We got two today. That's a big deal. Three, yeah. One we brought, though, so don't worry. We had one camera. It's Channel 4. I'll never forget, back when they, before Young Broadcasting, and they were very formal, and the earnest reporter immediately runs up to me, because I'm chair. I didn't even know what chair meant. I'm not even kidding. I know what a president thing, but I didn't know what chair meant. Said, what's your vision for parking and traffic? And I really knew I was in over my head. So I have ever since tried to make sure I didn't repeat the mistake that Willie Brown made, or at least he got lucky, I hope, because I figured it out somehow and tried to impress some folks and did my homework, and somehow he appointed me to the Board of Supervisors, and I ended up here. But what I've done, it's a long-winded way to say, I've tried to be a little bit more comprehensive and analytical when it comes to analyzing the pros and cons of those that I'm appointing, taking a little less risk than Willie Brown did with me. This is an assembly of those individuals. And I'm very proud that we have probably the largest swearing in since I have been mayor, with people that I'm reappointing and people that I'm appointing to various boards and commissions. I've always maintained this, Supervisor Ellsburn's heard me say this, that all I ask is that you do the public good, not literally, but figuratively, that you represent not just the people in the room, as important as they are because they took the time to be there, but the folks that couldn't make it in the room, that couldn't make it to that commission meeting, that couldn't make it to that board meeting, folks that also deserve your consideration and attention. People that aren't necessarily advocates with a particular interest, as benign or as appropriate as those interests may be. Just always remember your responsibilities to the people of the city and county of San Francisco, to the entire city, to our reputation, to our fate, and our future. And that your conduct is important, because if you do something wrong, it reflects badly on every single one of us on the city, on your friends, your family members, on your loved ones, to visitors that come to the city and love the city, that respect the city and are champions for the city. And so be people of integrity, be people of purpose, keep an open mind. And I can say this, because you don't need to do it anymore: give the mayor heads up, whoever she or he may be, because you're here longer than I am, that's for certain. If you have a strong opinion that may be in contrast to the stated opinion or the privately expressed opinion of the mayor. That's not always been the case. I had a chair of a department that was removed at 1 in the morning by a commission that had their own opinions. And I was all for autonomy and independence, and then I changed my mind. And Willie Brown cackled and laughed, said, "I told you so." You just, it took a few years, but I now get it. But express your different point of view. That's great. But again, just give the mayor a heads up. That's all that I think appropriately they deserve. And in that case, at least in the next 30 days, consider me in that stead. So thank you all for being here. We are appointing members of the Commission on Aging, the Airport Commission, Asian Art Museum Commission, which is wonderful. Someone was laughing because they know we got some challenges. City Hall Preservation Advisory Commission, the Housing Authority, Human Rights, Juvenile Probation, Rec and Park, Relocation Appeals Board, Southeast Community Facilities Commission, where we need to get to that next level, Commission on Status Women, Treasure Island, and the War Memorial Board of Trustees. So it's a comprehensive swearing in. I will just begin, and we'll get right to the swearing in, by also acknowledging the great Charlotte Schultz. Thank you, Charlotte, for letting us out here. We are grateful. Those are Charlotte's stairs, and they literally are her stairs. And so she read about that congestion pricing idea that the Board of Supervisors had, and started getting some crazy ideas about charging people. Apparently it costs less to go down than to go up. It didn't make sense to me, but we're trying to dissuade her from that. Matthew Godot, thank you, Matthew, since you interfaced with everybody, and our commission secretary liaison, whatever he is. Not sure he ever officially took the job, so he can maintain his independence in the mayor's office. To Tom Kreitz, thank you, Tom, for being willing to serve on the Commission on Aging. We've got one of the premier adult and aging services department, I don't know if our director's here, in the country. And I mean that. The work they've done has been recognized across the state and around the world. And Tom, I'm grateful you took this job. To Peter Stern, someone I've known for years, a young guy, works for a local company here, and someone that is new to political life. I think he's just an outstanding addition. I'm grateful he'll be a member of our Airport Commission. To Doris Ward, no need to say any more than's been said about Doris, and going to be reappointed. Doris has been a legend in our city and served our city for decades. Doris, thank you for your willingness to continue to serve on the Asian Art Museum. Thank you for being here. Supervisor, Assessor Ward. To Kevin Clinch and Frank Lee, I'm really proud. One of the things that may not get much attention when I'm gone is the Department of Building Inspection wasn't what I thought it could be or should be when I was here, and we had to mix things up. And Frank and Kevin got in there, and it really helped get our Department of Building Inspection back on track. And I'm really proud of their work, and they're appropriately being reappointed. So thank you both. To Pat Kelly, who was the first woman stockbroker in the city and county of San Francisco, broke that barrier decades ago, is a real legend in this city. One of the most connected human beings in the city, and one of the great entrepreneurs of our time, And I'm so proud. I just thought, why haven't we put Pat on a commission? And Pat's here to preserve City Hall, and she's a great friend of all of ours. And so, Pat, thank you for your willingness to serve. I get a little choked up when I talk about Pat. To Micah Allen, I'm excited about Micah because Micah's family is clearly here. I want to make Micah look good. Micah was one of the public applicants at the Housing Authority. We kind of went through a public process to find someone sort of independent of all of us and the ether that is City Hall. And I'm excited that Micah is going to serve. And Marion Saez, I told Marion, this one she kind of had to do. She runs Treasure Island Authority, but she was my interim Housing Authority director, did such a great job, great connections back in Washington, D.C. And Marion's very kind to be willing to serve again on the Housing Authority. In this context, the commission, not as director. But look out, if I see Henry Alvarez, Henry, look out. That's our director because she's going to be tough. She's going to be outstanding. To Mark Kelleher, I don't know why Jose Cisneros is here, but Mark is here. And where is he? He's somewhere. There you are. Just a great guy. Does so much good work in the city with the great organization, Plan C, and great friend of Bevan's and all of ours. I mean, well known. Boy, deserved this commission 20 years ago. I don't know what we were thinking, Bevan, all this time. And Jose had a conflict, so we'll get to that later. If you're wondering what's going on, just lean over, ask a friend. Susie Jones, this is a big deal. You know, Juvenile Probation Commission, I know there's some controversy there with sanctuary policy. I think we're on the right track. Good people can disagree, and I know they do. So Susie's got her work cut out for her, but she's outstanding. And I'm very grateful, Susie, you are going to take this task. To Paige Arata, formerly a.k.a. Paige Berry, who's been working in our office for a decade. No one more deserving, more qualified, more committed to this city. And I know Phil Ginsburg, our director's here, and would agree. We'll bring a breath of fresh air with the great Mark Buell as our chair. This commission's getting to the next level, and I'm ecstatic that Paige wanted to do this. And trust me, the people of the city will be well served by this appointment. So, Paige, thank you for being willing to serve. To Stephen Lee and to Natty Ramirez, Steve, thank you for being willing to be reappointed to the Relocations Appeal. But you might say, what the heck is the Relocation Appeals Board? Trust me, there's a lot of relocation and a lot of appeals about to take place because some of our big redevelopment projects, this commission's about to really matter in a significant way, and they're about to get really busy. So, Steve, thank you for being willing to stick around for the fun part, which is the real work in front of you in the next few years. And Natty Ramirez, Steve Cava, we know Natty, Bevan, my gosh, been in my, when are we going to get Natty on a commission? And so we are very excited as well. And Natty's well known to many folks here, and I know Sean and others. So thank you for being willing to serve as well. To Armenia Brown, to her willingness to serve on this commission. This is a good one. I know you like. She's my cheerleading section here. And Armina, we're trying to figure out what we can do for Armina because she's been around forever. And you all know Armina. If you ever come in my office or anyone knows, there she is. Stand up, Armina. Soon to be commissioner. She's going to have a business card. She's going to be, you know, I can't just say hello, good morning. She's going to, I'm sorry, call me by my appropriate name for the next 30 days. I'm really excited that Armenia is going to do this. To Bobby Brown and to Willie Kennedy, the great Willie Kennedy. Where'd you go? Thank you guys for all your good work, for everything you've done for our city, particularly for the folks out in the southeast sector of our city. And thank you for your willingness to continue to serve. Be aggressive on this body. Let's change things up. I know you are, but let's get more aggressive. Be audacious. Toye Moses demands it. He wants to mix things up. I thank you, Toye, for being here. Let's mix things up. Becca Prada, very proud of Becca. Served on the Commission of Status Women. Didn't we have to coerce her to do it originally, Matthew? And then she kind of liked it. And now she loves it. And now she's going to get a full term. And all I ask her is, don't forget who I am if I need to call you, Becca. Thank you for being willing to be reappointed. Larry Del Carlo. Larry, where'd you go? There you are. Larry's another legend down in the Mission. Housing advocate, does all kinds of great things. I won't even start. Hydra Mendoza, the school board, doesn't want me to. She's in a hurry. Her coffee's getting cold. But Larry's just a great guy and is going to be outstanding contributor to the great work out on Treasure Island. This is one of those things Willie Brown and I can claim as some legacies. This is a big deal. And we were 99% done with that. Speaker Pelosi were out there. This island's going to be revitalized, a whole new community. And I couldn't be more proud. And next mayor will take all the credit in a few months when they just be able to sign that final agreement. But don't forget Willie Brown and I in the contributions on Treasure Island. And Larry, thank you for your willingness to serve. To Larry Mazzola Jr., a great advocate for working families in this city, whose father and grandfather are legends in this town, and will look out for the men and women of labor, which are critical to the reconstruction and revitalization of this island. I thought Larry would be perfect for this job. Larry, thank you for your willingness to serve as well. We're almost done, don't worry. And then we'll get to the quick swearing in. I love this guy. I really got to know him. I didn't know him well when I was running for mayor, became mayor, but everyone said so many good things about him, and I was ready to move on and get my folks and new people in commissions, but they said, no, hold off. Mark Dunlop's a good guy. And I got to know Mark, and I couldn't agree more. And it was just fortuitous that Mark was a resident out on Treasure Island, and he said, I'd love to serve as the resident applicant on the island. And so we just jumped at the chance. So Mark, thank you for putting your name up, and thank you for your service. I'm grateful. Belva Davis, Tom Horn, Claude Jarman, and Jim Stafford. Belva Davis. I don't know if anyone's heard of her. Oh yeah. But I'm honored. It was great to I don't know whose idea it was. I'm going to take credit for it, to appoint her to the War Memorial Board originally. And we said, I didn't say why didn't I think. I said, of course, I thought of that, right? That's how it works when you're mayor. I was great. My idea is a fabulous one, Steve. But I'm glad Steve came up with the idea, or whoever did. Willie Brown may have called us. Belva, thank you for your service, and thank you for being willing to be reappointed. Tom Horn, another amazing guy, just incredible contribution to our city. And Tom, thank you for your service and work you do at the BAR and how you carried the baton there for another legend in our city when he passed away. And thank you for your service. Claude Jarman, the only Academy Award winner on any of our commissions and bodies. Claude, thank you for your service, and you just done an outstanding job. And thank you for your willingness to continue to serve on the War Memorial Board. And then I think one of my smartest new picks, someone new to this, Jim Stafford. And he had that short appointment because I didn't want to force him to say, I want to do this for the next 4 years. He said, I'll take it. Let me see how it goes. And I think it's gone all right, Jim, right? And so Jim's sticking it out. It's a big deal for all of us to have his enthusiasm and his new perspective on the War Memorial Board of Trustees. By the way, War Memorial's going through a big remodel. A lot of work's going to be done over there next year, and so these guys will matter greatly. Now is time to mention the last person being sworn in, and that's Fay Lee. Where's Fay? Why did it wasn't on my list here. Fay, thank you. Fay's a good friend of all of ours, and thank you, Fay, for your continuing contribution to our city, and I'm very grateful you're here as well. That's it, guys. Did I forget anyone else? All right. Anyone else want to get sworn in? Your last chance. I may do a few quiet ones, so if you need me, I'm still around. So let me ask you, we had a great recommendation. I don't know, Tom Shea may have called, or PJ or someone was watching Channel 26, their favorite TV station. And they said to Charlotte, you know, when they do these swearing-ins, we're sick of that mayor guy. He's been around too long anyway. We always see him, but we don't see the people getting sworn in. So I know this is strange, but let's kind of change this around. I'm going to ask you guys to kind of stand back here, and I'm going to stand here so everyone at home that couldn't make it can see you get sworn in. So come on up here, guys, and you just gather around. You got to be in 2 rows, though.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, so they could see them. All right, here's how it works. I got to get everyone just to get a little more attention in the back. And then I'm going to go down. Willie, I'm going to start with, well, Mark, I'll start with you. Well, Willie, I'll start with you. And we'll just go down, Mark, Pat, we'll go down this list. I'm going to say I, and then you're going to all state your name until we finish with Belvin. And then I'll say, and during such time, and I'll look at Willie as I serve, and then you'll mention the commission you're serving until I finish up. And then you just repeat after me. So everybody raise your right hand. I.
Kennedy.
Mark Miller.
Micah Allen.
Pedro Allen.
Armina Brown.
Kevin French.
Larry Mazzilli Jr.
Carolyn Stiles.
Larry Belcarlo.
Mark Dunlop.
Mark Jarman. Peter Starr.
Lottie Ramirez.
Susie Jones.
Becca Powder.
Tom Horton.
Yola Davis.
Stephen Lee.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. And during such time as I hold the position as a member
San Francisco Housing Authority Commission.
Of the Recreation and Park Commission. Of the Southeast Community Development Commission.
Treasure Island Development.
San Francisco Housing Authority.
The San Francisco Treasure Island Development Authority.
The San Francisco Treasure Island Development Authority.
Relocation Board of Appeals.
Juvenile Probation Commission.
Commission on the Status of Women.
Memorial Board of Trustees.
Memorial Board of Trustees.
Relocation Appeals Board.
for the city and county of San Francisco. Congratulations.